Hi, you're watching the mixed review notes on simplifying polynomials. So what we're going to do today is identify some similarities and differences between adding, subtracting versus multiplication, and then we're going to deal with order of operations with polynomials too. So a couple things to remember: when you add and subtract, the powers don't change. When you multiply and they have the same base, you can add the exponents. So let's look at some of these examples down below to see the similarities and mainly differences. So like in number 1, if we're adding 4x squared plus 10x squared, that's 14x squared. But if we multiply them, 4 times 10 is 40, and then we have to add the powers or the exponents of the same base. So this is x to the 2 squared times 2 squared. That's x to the 4th. And I meant to say x squared. I think I said 2 squared. Okay, moving down to number 2. If we add and subtract, notice how there's this negative in between here, which means we actually need to distribute a negative. But all a negative really does is flip the signs. So 2 minus 1x squared minus 3x plus 7. And if we write this in standard form, negative 1x squared minus 3x 2 plus 7. Those were like terms. 2 plus 7 is 9. Notice how we didn't distribute the 2, but because that minus sign isn't there, we will distribute that 2. So this becomes 2x squared plus 6x minus 14. Okay? Number 3 up top here, if we add and subtract, notice how there's a plus sign in between, which really just means we need to distribute any number that's in front, but if it's just a 1 and it's positive, nothing changes. So we have x plus 4 plus x minus 9, and then group together the like terms, x plus x. So we're adding 1x plus 1x. 1 plus 1 is 2x. And then 4 minus 9 is negative 5. Okay, when we multiply, notice how the parentheses are touching. There's no sign there. Your brain probably is thinking, this is the box method. And you are right. So this is x plus 4 all times x minus 9. So let's just multiply this through here. X times x is x squared. X times 4 is positive 4x. X times 9 is negative 9x. Negative 9 times 4 is negative 36. Some of you might recognize that there's like terms because there almost always is. Negative 9x plus 4x is negative 5x. So our final answer in standard form is x squared minus 5x minus 36. All right, number 4, adding and subtracting. It's a lot simpler, okay? When we multiply, we have to use the box method when we have 2 sets of parentheses touching. But when we add and subtract, we just really drop the parentheses. So this becomes 1m minus 3 plus 1m squared. You don't have to write the 1 in front, but you know how I do. Plus 5m minus 6. That plus sign doesn't change anything. So let's write our like terms and group those together. Well, the 1m squared, I'm just going to write that as m squared. He doesn't have friends, so we just bring him down for the ride. We do have some m terms. 1m plus 5m is 6m. And then minus 3 and a negative 6. So negative 3 minus 6, you could type that in your calculators if you need. It's like owing $3, owing $6. It's like owing $9. Okay. Now, when we multiply, when there's no term in there, we have to use that box method to help us. We don't have a lot of space, so I'm just going to kind of go a little longer. But we've practiced this last time, so I'm going to write the m minus 3 over here. M squared plus 5m minus 6. And let's go crazy multiplying. M times m squared is m to the third. M times 5m is 5m squared. M times negative 6, negative 6m. Negative 3 times m squared, negative 3m squared. Negative 3 times 5m, negative 15m. Negative 3 times negative 6 is positive 18. So here's some like terms. Actually, I'm just going to write my final answer. So we have m cubed, m to the third power, plus, when I group those two blue terms together, we get 2, oops, not x, 2m squared minus 15m minus 6m is minus 21m plus 18. And this is a final answer down below here. Whew, that was fun. Okay, last but certainly not least, we have question number 5. Notice how this is kind of crazy. There's a lot going on here. So we are going to follow order of operations, so PEMDAS or GEMS, however you learned it, okay? So the first thing that we need to think about is, do we have any groupings? Can we group together x minus 3? No. Can we group together 2x minus 5? No. So we don't have any groupings. So we don't need to do that. Do we have exponents? We sure do. And this, my friends, is the box method, right? We've talked about this last time. So off to the side, I am going to show this x minus 3 all times x minus 3. And we are just going to distribute that quickly. So x squared minus 3x plus 9. And a negative 3 and a negative 3, when we add them together, becomes negative 6. So this whole thing here became x squared minus 6x plus 9. So we're going to write that out. X squared minus 6x plus 9. And notice how the 2 and the rest of this problem didn't change. We took care of exponents. We're done. Now we got to multiply or divide. In this case, we're going to distribute. So 2x squared. So this is getting multiplied to all 3 of those. And that negative 4 gets multiplied to 2 of those. So 2x squared minus 12x plus 18 minus 8x plus 20. And if we group together our like terms, 2x squared minus 20x, because that's in this group together, and then negative 18. Actually, no, that's a positive 18, and a positive 20 is positive 38. And that is your final answer.